on October 19th, 5 days after the Post began publishing, Politico ran a story headlined, "Hunter Biden's story is Russian disinfo, dozens of former intel officials say." God, I can't even say that with a straight face, you know? Politico printed a letter completely uncritically from veteran members of the U.S. intelligence community, falsely claiming that the Post expose has, quote, all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation.
Welcome to Your America, people.
What's up?
This shitstorm is in full effect, and it's kind of disgusting.
Oh, in here.
Rob, look at that.
It looks like Rumble did not work.
Rumble did not work.
Yes.
Son of a beesh.
I don't know if that's something you can fix live, or should I just post a link for YouTube in the chat there, for people who show up.
Damn, it's not showing, is it? Let me double check the stream configuration.
Okay, I'll wait till you're. And by the way, hail, Rob.
I don't know if I can send shit. Hold on. Wait a minute. I know what to do.
Okay.
All right. Let's see if that worked. It should have worked.
Any chance it produces a new link, or should it be this?
Yep. We're good.
Oh,
we're on Rumble now, guys.
All right.
Boomers being boomers.
There it is.
Being boomers.
Okay.
Anyway, welcome back, guys. This is it's Clout Goblins. You know me, flagrant, small time business, trying to build her, and very, very, very disaffected American for sure. Because holy shit, the intro said it all. And of course, we got
Fusion.
Ha! Ha! Got our boy Crash. Crash, what's going on?
Not much. Laid back weekend. Weather's nice though. Well, still hot, but not too stormy lately, at least.
It cooled off quite a bit up here the past 2 days. It's only been in the low 80s, so it actually felt really good yesterday. There must have been a cold front or something coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Felt pretty good. Yep. So let's see what we got. We got a spicy thing on the agenda first thing today, and the title belies what this is about a little bit. I mean, it is true, but it is also disgusting. And yeah, our boy Harry Sisson. Wow, a teenager in Nebraska was just sentenced to 90 days in jail for using the abortion pill. Holy shit, that's kind of dramatic. Sentencing someone to jail for using an abortion pill that is legal in the state. This is the This is the America Republicans want. Republicans will not let women control their own bodies. According to them, teenagers are old enough to be mothers. It's horrifying. Oh, but here's the fact check. An 18-year-old has been sentenced to 90 days in jail and 2 years of probation for burning and burying a fetus after she took medication from her mother to end her pregnancy. Boy, oh boy, does this shit piss me off.
I mean, even though
because
she wasn't charged with using the abortion pill, in my mind, that was still intentional homicide.
yes,
She used a chemical. I mean, that'd be no different than her taking meth in order, while she's pregnant,
well,
and it kills the baby.
I think what even sets it apart from their argument of it's a woman's choice, she did it outside of the confines of a medical facility, and she had absolute intention to end the pregnancy and planned to desecrate the body, burn it, bury it, and hope nobody found it. And
Do you know if there's a week limit in Nebraska, since it's actually?
let's see.
I'm kind of surprised Nebraska has an allowance there, but
maybe they don't. No, it's 12 weeks.
12 weeks. Okay, and I believe she was beyond that. If I remember, I can't remember the exact week. I want to say something like 21 or something like that, but I'm not entirely sure. I can't recall.
Let's see. Let's find a actual news source and not a fucking bullshit.
Where's the community note site?
Oh,
there's a community note on the.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Let's go check that out. Well, we'll have to look up Harry, won't we?
Yeah. Oh, Harry.
Oh, Harry. And these are the people that get paid by the Democrats to misinform you like this. This is actual misinformation. And it is used to sway idiots. Because if anybody reads that headline, they're going to believe that that's what happened. And when you actually read the story, like at the second to last paragraph in it, it says, oh, by the way, she intentionally induced labor, had the baby, burned the body, buried it, and planned it with her mom. Yeah, here it is right here. The teen was not
during the third trimester.
Yeah, dude, that's
that baby is viable.
Yeah.
There are people who are waiting to adopt. The bureaucracy keeps them from adopting, but people want to tell us that it's not a viable option.
Well, you got to think too. We're talking to and about people who in California have a law that says you can have an abortion whenever you want. But then if a pregnant woman is killed and the baby, no matter what stage it's in, is also killed, it's a double homicide because you murdered two people. These are the logical fallacies that are absolutely fucking destroying our country.
Well, let me throw this one out, because I saw this on another Twitter argument where I keep seeing pro-abortionists throw out there, oh, no babies are killed during an abortion. Like, okay, first of all, false. But then, in like literally 2 tweets later, on one of the replies, they'll say, nobody is entitled to the woman's body. And I'm like, who? Nope. If it's not a person, then you're not. Like, does that make any sense? Like, that's an argument for, like, if you are saying that nobody has entitlement to your body, what you're doing is trying to make an argument that it's a justified homicide, versus saying that it's not homicide because it's not a live person. And they throw out, the same people will throw out both arguments in the same thread constantly. And you just.
The reason the reason I'm against abortion is because of logical fact and scientific fact. 99.99 whatever % of the time, that sperm and egg create a human. It's not anything else. It's not a clump of cells. It's not a parasite. And this was my tweet in response to that.
There's no exceptions to that. If it fertilized, it's a human.
Mm-hmm. And it will become a walking, talking, breathing human. It will not become anything else. It is impossible.
Like the only exception to this is, miscarriage. If it doesn't
Yeah.
take in the uterus or something happens and the baby dies, that's outside of the mother's control. There's nothing she can do about that. You can't hold her accountable for that.
Yeah.
It's circumstance.
For me, it'd be miscarriage, and if there is an actual serious medical threat to the life of the mother.
Yes, but they have yet to really describe an actual time where an abortion would be necessary in that case, because
Usually, the baby's viable by then.
exactly, you could C-section the baby can live, and you save the mother, but
Mm-hmm.
they there's it's like you can end the pregnancy without killing the baby in all those cases. I mean, if there's legitimately a time where, yeah, where it's a threat to the mother's life for whatever medical reason, and you just can't save the baby, okay, it's the mother's life is more valuable at that point. And it's sad, but that's just the case. That's not the same.
Yeah, dude, that would be a hard choice for me, because especially if it's a married couple who actually have a strong relationship together. Like, I mean, we both know what the right thing to do is. Like, you've made the child is going to be able to contribute more than you probably will from whatever point on. Like, because to me, I think the mother would pick the child. I think the father would pick the mother. But
I believe it is the mother's right to sacrifice herself if she so chooses, but I don't believe that that's something that should be. She shouldn't be held accountable for her choice to not do so, or for the husband to say that no, I want to keep my wife, and we just have to say goodbye to the baby.
yeah,
It's tough, it's sad.
yeah, dude. One of the saddest things I've ever seen. One of my really good friends, uh, his wife was having complications with their second child,
Mm-hmm.
and um, she had her super early. I can't remember how early it was, but like the baby was stillborn but had a heartbeat.
Mm.
So they induced labor, and like, dude, as soon as they told me what happened, I went straight to the hospital, and that was, dude, it was fucking rough. Yeah. But I think she kept her heartbeat for about 3 hours.
Wow.
The thing that pisses me off is like that fucking tweet I made. The only parasites at abortion clinics are the 95% that cull human life for convenience and leech from the taxpayer while contributing nothing. Like that, and that's how I really feel, because a lot of the people who push for abortion don't have kids. They don't know what that's like. They have no idea what seeing your child be born and coming into the world, and then holding something that you've created. Dude, I'll never forget the day Kenzie was born, ever. Like, it is ingrained in my mind so hard.
What really gets to me is that there are resources for, like, they always want to cite like the young girls, the young teenagers who, kind of just getting out there exploring, because puberty will do that to you, get your hormones raging, and sometimes you don't know if they don't do it safe, and then they have a pregnancy. There are resources for them, and every time that is brought up, they drag that down to the point of praising the firebombing of these pregnancy crisis centers. And Antifa went after them. Like, what What the hell?
That-
Literally, the thing that you keep telling us that you complain about, it shows that you don't. It shows that they don't actually care about.
they'll
the
march
women.
they'll march in the streets and burn shit down if an
Mhm.
actual abortion clinic gets attacked. But when it's flipped, ha ha ha, that's funny, ha ha. Like even most Republicans, they wouldn't laugh about it. They would. Most of them probably think, well, I hate to say it, but abortion clinics shouldn't be. Like, because if something was that bad with a pregnancy where it does endanger the life of the mother or the child, it's so rare that a hospital could handle it easily.
See, that's where you should be handling it. Is in the
Yeah.
hospital.
And I just everything that's happened this past week, like with RFK Jr., with this shit, and like just the flaunting of the Bidens and what they've done, just all this shit. It just shows that the establishment does not give a fuck about us, and they never will.
Indeed.
Like I was watching Jimmy Dore earlier, and he was talking about Ryan Grimm and Crystal Ball and Kyle Kalinske, how they're morons because they didn't get forced to vote right. They didn't get Roe v. Wade put in when the Democrats had power because they didn't push for it. And I replied to him. I said, Jimmy, they're not morons. They're corrupt. And the establishment isn't going to do anything good for the people if they can't enrich themselves off of it.
Exactly.
And
all of those promises, they were always empty promises. Always.
They always are. Like, look at, I mean, even with the Republicans are like, like, at least they're putting on the show of pointing out what they found, but they're not going to do anything.
No.
Unless the only way I see them doing anything is if so much comes out and there's so much pressure that even the left gets pressure, where people are like, what the hell is it? Like, he did this, and why is he still there? I think that's the only way it'll ever go anywhere.
They won't feel pressure until their own shit gets aired out.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem, right? Is why don't we have the Epstein client list? Because they were all on it.
Did you see the hit piece on Oprah?
No. This intrigues me.
Yeah. Oh, let's check that out, because it's quite interesting since we're talking about Mr. Epstein. Good old Mr. Epstein. Let's see. I have to look it up in my list probably. But yeah, I listened to that. Apparently, the book that she wrote was so full of bullshit that you should never trust her on this again. Let's see, did he link the original? Nope, he did not. Where in the hell is it? Here we go. This is one of them. So we will do this. We will do this. And we will do this.
1998 interview, Mel Gibson made a number of cryptic references to a dark and evil side of Hollywood that he personally encountered.
When I came over here,
All right. Who wants to take a guess at what the dark and evil is? What kind of dark and evil are we talking about, guys?
Post your guesses in the chat.
Yeah,
Let's see.
Rob, what do you think it is, Rob? What is the dark and evil thing he's referring to?
I'm just wondering if adrenochrome's going to actually be in this clip at all.
Yeah.
This QAnon theory, apparently.
Yeah, QAnon. Yeah, dude, that's their new scapegoat. It's QAnon.
It was, oh God, I was in my mid-20s.
Right.
Hey, what's up,
The
front
first
porch?
time I really came over here. You know, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand.
Right.
I'm gonna speed it up a little bit.
And nobody was really bothering to explain it to me.
They don't.
And and I formed a bunch of opinions about the town and about the people in it that were like, surely that couldn't be, because the whole place can't be like, you know, Weird Town, you know, where the stranger wanders in and all the people are in the bar and they all shut up when he looks at them and they tell you don't go to the house on the hill. It's like that. And then you go away and you think, no, I was wrong. I mean, that's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like, could it? And then you find out later on the track that you were exactly on track with a lot of this stuff. Not specifically on track, but that you could, that some of your worst nightmares were real at the time. And you think, a place like this can humiliate you. And it can be.
And, okay, so you got to think, like, Mel Gibson, he's a huge fucking actor, especially back then. He was massive. Because that was when The Patriot was out. That was just after, what's it? The post-apocalyptic stuff.
Signs.
No.
No, never mind.
Thunderdome. Mad Max.
Mad Max.
Yeah. God, he had a bunch of huge movies then.
It can humiliate you.
Like, for him, like, I mean, what would you do if you walked into a town and everyone's like, hey, this is going on here? Like, it'd be weird. Like,
I mean,
I can see why it's like, what are you talking about?
I mean, I get that there would be a bit of denial at first, or just disbelief. Because I mean, I think we want to believe the best in people, at least initially.
Let's see.
It can be humbling. I mean, it does rip your life to pieces if you'll let it.
Yeah.
And it's always pounding at the walls. It's these little guys, these little heathens with no soul downstairs with horns on their head with a battering ram trying to like beat your walls in.
Now, Gibson, of course, since that interview, has met with, shall we say, some unfortunate circumstances. His reputation was soiled after 2006 drunk driving arrest when he made widely publicized anti-Semitic remarks, which have tarnished his reputation among Hollywood insiders ever since. And yet, Gibson appears to have come out from that reputational slander rather undaunted. He was seen of late standing up and saluting President Trump at a recent UFC championship fight, and he's been pictured posing with Carrie Lake in Arizona. But now we're getting reports that Gibson is preparing to release a groundbreaking 4-part documentary series that'll shed light on the hidden world of a global child sex trafficking ring. According to Newsweek, the shocking revelation is expected to expose the industry's staggering annual revenue of $34 billion. If you can believe that's an amount that surpasses the yearly earnings of the airline industry. Here's Tim Ballard of Operation Underground and one of the leading figures in the global fight against child trafficking.
Yeah, we know that name, don't we?
Sure do now.
The real American hero right here.
Ukraine, got a phone call from Mel Gibson. He actually did the final edit of The Sound of Freedom. That's how we know each other, but not well enough that I'd be getting phone calls. They told me that he was in Budapest at the time. This was right hours after the invasion, and he said he supports a bunch of orphans in Ukraine, and he was worried about them, and he asked if I could help get them out. So now I got 12 from my wife, I got 13 others from Mel Gibson, and I'm thinking, okay, I got this list of kids I got to get out. I told Mel, I said, you got to help me. This is going to be expensive. I won't ask you for a direct donation, but can you help me film this? Let's film what's happening so we can get people to understand and they can support us. He said, no problem. He helped us get set up and started filming. 4 months later, what I thought was going to be maybe a documentary about Ukraine ends up being a 4-part docuseries. It's almost done. It's being produced by DNA Films and executive produced by Tony Robbins. That's how crazy it got and how prophetic my wife was. When I showed up in Ukraine with a list of, I think, 20 names, the Ukrainians countered me and gave me over 10,000 names of orphans that they didn't know where they were because of the chaos caused by war. And more importantly, and more frightening to me.
Oh my God, dude. Think about that shit. How disgusting is that? Your country's at war. People are getting bombed every day. People getting blown up. Families getting destroyed. And somebody's thinking, hey, I can grab that kid. That's fucking gross, dude.
I mean, all we have to do is look at our southern border.
Yeah,
A lot of
God,
what's going on
yeah.
down there is child trafficking.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, like the split is coming because people are about like that boiling point is getting extremely close.
Mm-hmm.
Like because a lot of people on the right have said the first thing they're going to do is take care of that border. And yeah, let's see, Ron DeSantis said it, Vivek Ramaswamy said it, Trump, of course, and I mean, we should.
That'd probably be it. Anybody else, I don't even take even semi-seriously, honestly.
Yeah, Mike Pence is a fucking joke.
Same with Chris
And-
Christie.
Yeah,
And there's that other guy who's a governor up in the Northwest, I think. I forget which state.
Hutchins.
Hutchins, yeah. Hutchins or Hutchison?
I think it's Hutchinson. But dude, like, how depraved do you have to be to see people fleeing for their lives, and your priority list in your head is survive, pederast, grab kids, take the kids to this place, make money, do it all over again. Like, I almost guarantee you that they have specific groups who do this. I'd almost guarantee it that there are groups that get funded to literally go to these places and grab kids. And like the Hunter Biden stuff shows enough to, I mean, people, I don't get it, man. Like, people should be freaking out about this shit. And we're not. And I think it's because, have you noticed how much shit is now? Like, the inflation has made a very silent creep.
I don't think it's been silent at all, though.
Well, it hasn't for people who've been paying attention, but groceries are fucking way more expensive now. Everything fucking is. But like actual groceries, dude, it's fucking nuts.
What people don't get is that even when the Fed pulls back with the higher interest rates and we don't get deflation. We haven't had deflation in a long time. I don't remember when was the last time we saw deflation. It might have just been during the Great Depression, honestly. I'd have to go back and check. But while it causes problems, you realize we never get deflation. We just get lower inflation. But we still have inflation. Prices are still rising, even if it's at a lower rate. And I guarantee you, for any lefties that come across this, it has nothing to do with anything that Congress or passed or Biden signed. Federal Reserve controls that crap. All right. Yeah. Federal Reserve is independent. They don't get audited. There
are no reserves. Just to remind you guys, the Federal Reserve.
What reserves is what?
It's an empty fucking building.
Cash is worthless anyway.
No, they don't even have cash. They do all they do is push numbers.
Cash,
yeah,
it's all just numbers in a database at this point. I mean, I don't feel like it makes too much of a difference whether it's physically printed cash or digital cash. Yeah, we haven't been on the gold. We haven't been on a gold standard since 71. So
yeah, who was it? Nixon.
Now? Nixon, yeah.
Dude.
Anyway, let's not distract too much.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Yeah.
Let me do this real quick.
And Tim Ballard does have a what do you call it? A nonprofit that obviously because he's still doing this work. Like it's not just
what's it called?
The one case that's under Freedom
Spearhead.
I can't remember. I thought I had it bookmarked, but
we'll pull it up later for you guys.
Yeah, we'll find it and pull it up. If you want to, share that, donate to it. See, I mean, at least I know the idea of like just dropping everything and going to go fight this thing is a bit daunting, and but the least we can do is fund those who are actually doing the fight, and that's still helpful.
Well, just seeing the interview on Timcast, it made me want to call and see what I could do.
Hmm.
Because, I mean, I knew it was bad, but it's really fucking bad.
Oh my gosh, Rob.
I agree. Oh, I made a new song. I wrote a song today.
You wrote a song.
I wrote a song. Well, I rewrote an old song.
Okay.
But we'll finish this. Well, let's
Okay.
see what else we got here.
Was the fact that I know that human trafficking is a $32 billion a year business. It's the fastest growing criminal enterprise in the world. And I also know how kids get forced into that market. And it's through vulnerable situations like in the aftermath of a hurricane, mostly in a developed country, or an earthquake, or in this case, a war.
Hey, gang, have you
Damn it. I just forgot. I fucking forgot what I was going to say. Hold on.
And it's through vulnerable situations like in the aftermath of a hurricane, mostly in a developed country, or an earthquake, or in this case, a war.
Hey, gang, have you seen the Twitter thread Died Suddenly or the new movie by the same name? It really is heartbreaking to see the rise of sudden stroke deaths that seem to occur in lockstep with the tyrannical forced vaccinations of the Biden administration. And now the number of strokes continue to rise. And I'm very concerned. So here's something that I'm doing to protect myself and my family. My friends at Lifeline Screening are helping me detect my risk of having a stroke and ensure you're healthy by visiting Lifeline Screening right now. Securing your health is just a click away. Again, that was Tim Ballard. He's absolutely amazing. He's a former CIA and DHS special
if you're not
agent, and now he's
vaccinated, you ain't
dedicated his
gotta worry
life
about
to
that mess.
rescuing children from human trafficking, which of course is happening in Ukraine, as he pointed out, and it's happening more than any one of us could imagine in our worst nightmares at our southern border, thanks to the deliberate incompetence of the bumbling Biden administration. But as you can see from that testimony, Mel Gibson, behind the scenes,
this has been going on for a long time, and the one of the credits I will give to Trump was that on the human trafficking side, he did put out significant efforts in fighting that.
Yeah.
I got to give him props for that.
Didn't he shut down the most pedo rings of any administration?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I expected that to be so because I don't think there was. I don't see any efforts from the others. I mean, I don't know if I'm just missing those headlines, but those headlines seem to stop flowing after he was outed from office. And I don't remember seeing much of that during Obama's term.
Yeah, I can't even find information on it because all it is fucking QAnon conspiracies.
Lord.
Oh my! And the Atlantic, the great fake child sex trafficking epidemic.
Atlantic is the biggest joke of journalism out there.
Get fucking real, dude. Jesus. But I remember what I was going to say. I guess slavery's back.
I just think it never really left.
Yeah. It just shifted to a much weaker and more vulnerable demographic.
Is on the forefront of these rescue operations, which may indeed involve the release of this documentary, that according to Newsweek. Now, you should know Gibson's publicist has denied these rumors. Obviously, he's very worried about the blowback that Mel would inevitably get from a town that doesn't appear to take too kindly to exposing some of their darker tendencies. But unfortunately for Hollywood, the genie may be out of the bottle on this one. I don't know if any of you saw the recent bombshell piece in the Wall Street Journal, a front-page article exposing the social media site Instagram for being used as a platform for connecting and promoting a vast network of accounts dedicated to the commission and purchase of underage sex content. It was an investigation conducted by the Wall Street Journal, Stanford University, as well as the University of Massachusetts Amherst, and it found that Instagram's algorithms actively promote pedophilia-related content, connecting pedophiles and guiding them to content sellers through various recommended systems. The researchers discovered that Instagram allows people to search explicit hashtags related to child sexual abuse. And
okay, what the fuck? There's no way they didn't know about this.
Absolutely.
There's no fucking way they didn't know about this. You're not going to convince me that Zuckerberg and his crew did not notice this. What the absolute fuck, man? Like, okay, Mark Zuckerberg is human trash. Absolute human trash to me now. Because there's no fucking way he did not know about this.
I'm curious as to how much progress Twitter has made on this front.
I don't know. I think Elon was serious about it.
Yeah.
Because
but those assholes are clever. You know,
yeah.
You block one route and then they find another workaround. And
dude,
I just remember there was a tweet not that long ago where Shuan had said that like the communities are still out here. They're still on Twitter. And it's like, yeah, okay, so you've banned some searching for particular hashtags, and perhaps that slows them down. But there's, I don't know.
Like, okay, so this again, as you saw by the headlines, this is another fucking disinformation campaign that the left is embracing very hard. Like, dude, I don't understand, man. Social media, it's got to be social media. Social media has absolutely fucking ruined our morals and values. Because just look at it from the dating perspective. It's hard for people to date and find serious people now because of the access women have to the top 5%. Like before, if it wasn't within your town or area, you didn't date. Like, that's what it was. Like, you dated in your town or area, or you just weren't dating. You could always find somebody to date. And now you've got women who have connections to, well, it's like Tim said, guys in their 20s, guys in their early 20s, girl in her early 20s. The guy's going to say, hey, yeah, we can grab Subway and hang out and watch a movie, or go to the movies, or go get ice cream. But she has access to the guy who says, hey, we'll go to the beach, and then we'll go to the resort and spa, and then I'll take you to the casino. Like, you can't compete with it as far as what would be more entertaining. But that's not what dating's about. Dating's not about fucking entertainment. Dating is about finding someone, or should be. It should be about finding someone that you connect with, that you can build a trusted bond with, and you guys are building toward a future together. But now it's just become a fucking just fucked up miasma of clout and fun and entertainment only. And that's why there's all this report of incel. And for those who don't know, incel means involuntary celibate. Basically, you're not getting laid.
And you're trying to.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, and you're trying. It's not like
it's
not like good Catholic boys who are only having sex with the priest. It's guys who are trying to date, and if they get lucky, they might harpoon that 2:00 whale at last call.
Actually, what's funny about the incel community, there was a prominent like incel, I guess, influencer, social media influencer, who found a girlfriend, and instead of celebrating for him, they went after him. They started what do you call it, crab bucketing. So like, even on
Explain to
that
them
side of
what
things,
crab bucketing is.
if you put a bunch of crabs in a bucket, the ones on top will see that, hey, I can climb out, and they'll try to climb out, and the other crabs will pull them straight back down, because misery loves company.
Yep, it's the hater's ball. That's right. You're 100% right, Rob. The hater's ball. Okay, so there is proof that social media is ruining dating. There's proof that social media is.
I mean, I think social media is really exasperating kind of the issue, because hookup culture started before social media, but social media made it much easier. I don't think social media started hookup culture, because I remember hookup culture was a thing that I talked about with my other Christian friends in college.
Yeah, but
that was before Facebook was even invented.
The degree of hookup culture, yeah, but then it was like on college campuses, like where there's big groups. It wasn't out in rural America.
Exactly. No, that's what I mean, is that social media and access has exasperated something that was budding in the first place. The same thing with the postmodernism, the subjective truth that comes from the left. That was a thing back in 2000. It's just we were just noticing it back then, and then social media allowed it to go viral and get out of control.
Well, social
So
media
like I
took
don't
it
think
from
social yeah, I don't think
contained
social media is
environments.
yeah, social media blows up those things, right? Like it doesn't create those things, it just kind of takes the things that are already there and then it blows them up. If
Well, the
that
problem
makes
is it blows up and intensifies all the negative aspects
right. Because
while
rage bait is
shitting on
what
the positive aspects.
rage bait is what I mean appealing to the emotions is what gets traffic, and traffic is the currency for websites.
Yeah.
Because ultimately how you monetize that is either you get people who pay for subscriptions to get behind a paywall, or you get paid by people to advertise on your site or in your video or via your social media. So driving traffic is what gets you money in that space. In this space, we're kind of in that space that we're not monetized, so we're
Well, even if we were, like, I would not.
right.
I would talk about it with you first to see if we're on board. But I mean, both of us should look. If that were to ever happen, to me, I would not take on a sponsor that didn't create something that was actually useful for people and didn't promote depravity. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and promote OnlyFans
Exactly.
or
Like
some shit like that.
I think that's why we'll be going for like a long time, but that's also why this podcast and other things that we do is going to take a lot more time to build, because we're not going to shortcut the algorithm for the sake of driving traffic, because we want to keep our integrity.
Yeah, like,
It's
dude, I'm fine sitting here talking with you and Rob and Ruben and Goodnight. Like, even if it's just
and
2 or
Brian,
5
he's in there
viewers.
too. Front porch is here.
Oh yeah, front porch. Hail again, good sir. Hail to all the other fellowship members. Okay, so well, it's definitely intensified pedophile rings, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, before, like, pedos had to be in a small area or in a specific area. Like, their rings were within certain confines, unless it gets up to the politician level where they can go wherever they want.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely exasperated that, for sure.
If only we could just delete them all.
Dude, now I'm sitting here
I mean,
wondering if
just delete
Hunter
them all for like a
Biden.
month, and I feel like so much of this stuff would just go away, as people's brains would have to reset if they couldn't get access to their social media for.
Dude, it's not just that. They'd actually start making real connections with people around them again.
Exactly.
Like, that alone is worth so much more. Like, I mean, I can't say I haven't made friends through online stuff, but I haven't made that many. It's not like my whole inner circle of friends is from online people. Like, most of the friends I have are people I went to high school with, or people I knew as a kid, or people I grew up with, or I met them at some other point in life. Like,
Yeah, I'd say for the most part, friends that I've met online, I mean, well, several of y'all have met. Not everybody. I've met Rob too. Who have I not met? I think Goodnight's the only person I haven't met in person yet.
Yep. Good,
One
because
day.
he was not able to go down to Orlando.
Yeah. And then I have some other friends that, I have some that I've met through Twitch, that I haven't met in real life yet. But I mean, I'm putting out an effort to hopefully make those connections at some point. But I have with some, and it makes a huge difference. Like your relationship just kind of changes versus like
Mm-hmm.
when it's just online.
Yeah, the first guild meeting we had, like, you're talking about the main raiders of the guild, because our guild wasn't that big anyway, and I think like 15 of us went to the first guild meet or something like that. Once you meet those people in real life, it's way different. It's not just somebody playing a game with you. Now you're talking about life shit, what they've been through, their experiences, what they like, what they don't like, how their attitude is, like in person. Because online personas are absolutely different from real life personas in
I mean,
most
that also
cases.
goes for even just the detractors. Now, most of those people don't ever try to make real connections out in the real world, but sometimes I wish that they would, because one, I know that all of the shit they talk online they wouldn't say to your face.
No.
But there's also just a chance for like a change for them if they realize, oh, you're a real human being. Maybe I shouldn't be such a asshole. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I do wonder if you could get any of these. Like I wonder about like Eric July's detractors. Sometimes I'm just like,
Dude,
y'all talk a big game, but y'all never
Eric,
come out to the cons that he's going to. He would talk, like they don't realize that like Eric and his crew, they, unless physically threatened, they wouldn't do anything. They're not looking to start a fight.
what
Like
Eric
they'll
should do.
confront you on your bullshit, but it's just going to be through talk. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
Yeah, I like this idea. People who are detractors like that, and people who argue on the other side in bad faith
Mhm.
or in good faith, but just try to tear down the other side, they should have to debate the person in person, in front of a crowd of peers from both sides. And if they don't show up, they can never be on social media again. That would solve a lot of problems. Because
Seriously.
then nobody's going to be sitting there shitting on stuff just to shit on stuff. They're going to have to make a serious, honest, integral argument. Dude, but like this misinformation, my God, it is beyond fucking ridiculous. And
Did you see what Marjorie Taylor Greene did in Congress?
hell yeah, dude. Hell fucking yeah, dude.
Man, people lost their minds.
Did anybody in chat see it? Well, I'm sure they did. I'm sure most of the chat saw it.
Yeah, I'm sure they saw it. It was all over the internet.
If you don't know, old MTG just flat out printed Hunter Biden's laptop pictures of him getting blowjobs and stuff by the hooker he paid for through his business, and just held it up right in front of him. Hey, this is what the president's son is doing. Something
And he
that
didn't pay taxes on that expense, by the way.
yeah,
He put that down as a business expense.
Yep. So what are the odds that Hunter Biden has become the new Epstein, but he is establishment?
I don't think that it's very high that he'd be. No.
I don't understand.
I would expect it to be someone who is not very high visibility.
Yeah, that's
Because Epstein wasn't that visible for a long time. It wasn't really until the FBI finally did something about it and took him in that he even started to get noticed, and it didn't really go viral until his death.
Let's see. What's this pull up?
I mean, honestly, my bet would be that Epstein wasn't the only one. Obviously, I don't believe that for a second. Obviously, they're because it's still happening, right, all over the world.
Mm.
I'm sure that it didn't take long for his fellow traffickers to fill in the gap of their demand.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Vacuum's going to get filled with something,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Where is just the? Oh, what is this?
And the curtains are closed.
Let's do this.
What is this?
Let's check this video out. Now this is Monique.
And the curtains are closed. I know when the cameras aren't running. That's why Oprah Winfrey does not want to sit down publicly with me nor my husband to have a conversation.
Oprah Winfrey is a slave trader. Why do you think she has that school in South Africa? Why does she hang out with who she hangs out with?
This is the video.
Rose McGowan has put Oprah on blast. Rose recently called out Oprah on Twitter over her past associations with some controversial men. Rose wrote, quote, from being
Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do and stop hiding behind what you call was negative comments.
When most people think Oprah, first thing that comes to mind is that she's a legend that's made her mark in the industry. And while this may be true, she has also managed to remain at the center of several scandals over the years.
Hey, hold on. Wait. Damn. Yep. All right.
To be true, she has also managed
Guys
to
know what
remain
I'm
at the
talking
center of
about.
several scandals over the years. Well, it seems those scandals are starting to catch up with her, as she was recently called out and canceled by the vast majority. But I know that's hard to believe considering the standard she's created for herself in the industry, but you'd be surprised about just how shady her journey to the top has been. Good thing you have me, because I'm here with all the gist. So just stay tuned till the end so you don't miss exactly what she did that tipped the public over.
And if the abuser is any good, he or she is going to make you feel like you're a part of it.
As someone in showbiz, it's generally almost impossible to completely avoid scandals. But even with as hard as it may be, Oprah takes the scandal game to the next level, as the television diva has been repeatedly caught up in a series of less than ideal situations. And one thing that has been constant about these situations she's been in is that they usually involve another party. To drive my point, let's take her relationship with Harvey Weinstein, for example. Winfrey and Weinstein have had a professional relationship that stretches back 2 decades. There are many photographs of her kissing and hugging the mogul at award ceremonies and events sponsored by the Weinstein Company. She has starred in and produced movies that his company distributed, including The Butler and The Great Debaters. For those who may not know, Harvey Weinstein is an American filmmaker who rose to become the face of an abuser for the Hash Me Too
Dude,
movement.
did you see her eyes?
Yeah.
Dude, that one, Gwyneth Paltrow is not comfortable right there.
No.
At all. She looks fucking terrified. Or dead inside. Probably both.
The face of an abuser for the Hash Me Too movement. Per the news, 5 years ago, the story that had long been whispered in the halls of agencies and studios, as well as on film and television sets, finally became public. A series of bombshell articles revealed that Harvey Weinstein harassed and assaulted dozens of women for decades and used his power to bully them into silence. According to TMZ, Weinstein said Winfrey encouraged him to defend himself publicly, implying that the TV host might have actually been on Weinstein's side against so many women. However, her people said they never spoke directly, and she was only interested in talking to him for a TV interview.
Talk about what's happening with Harvey Weinstein. I know you posted on, so I think this is a watershed moment. And if we make this just about Harvey Weinstein, then we will have lost this moment.
Interestingly, Winfrey made no mention of Weinstein during her inspiring Golden Globe speech. She has made it clear during other public utterances on the scandal that the cultural shift underway went much further than Weinstein's crimes alone. In fact, an aspiring actor, Britain's Kadia Noble, who spoke at a press conference in November, alleges that Weinstein forced himself on her in a hotel room in Cannes in 2014 and said he used his relationship with Winfrey to groom her. I mean, she could deny it all she wants, but this basically establishes a connection that just seems too close to supporting him. Well, in truth, we shouldn't be too surprised that she might have been on Weinstein's side. I mean, this is someone that lied to the world about getting abused in her book, just to boost sales. That's right. And that's not even the only lie she was exposed for in said book, exposure that came from her own family. Although Winfrey claims she never had any new dresses or dolls and had to adopt 2 cockroaches as pets growing up in rural Mississippi, her cousin contends she was actually relatively spoiled as a little girl. In the biography Oprah, author Kitty Kelly has claimed that Winfrey's tales have alienated her from much of her family. Where Oprah got that nonsense about growing up in filth and roaches, I have no idea.
Okay, yeah. That's basically the gist of it. She's just a lying sack of shit. Who will also run over people at risk. And one thing that pisses me off, what really pisses me off about this whole Me Too shit, like what are your personal morals and personal values if you'll say, yeah, I'll let this guy fuck me and use me whenever he wants because I want to be in a movie. Like, I don't know, like, I don't get it. There's no way I would have done it. And is that just societal decay? Because back in the day, like, people like that would have been hung. Like, as soon as one peep came out about it, they would have, because back then women were valued way more because you had to have kids, you needed someone to run the household, and you had to make the next generation to keep building your family up.
This level of evil, I will say, is, in my opinion, has always existed. I think it's just gotten bigger as of late, and because of technology, because of access, because of their ability for reach, and also for their ability to conceal. I mean, also just the building up of the deep state, the government, their connections. Like, why did it take so long for Epstein to get arrested in the first place? Because he had connections.
After
Because he had blackmail
convicted.
on the people that he needed to. Like, it's honestly shocking that he got taken down at all. Honestly.
Well, the RFK stuff with Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was someone who solicited donations from Epstein after he had been convicted in 2016. Pretty sure. And yeah, I agree with you. It is evil. Absolutely. Everyone says evil is subjective, but I'm sorry, man, if you're
Evil's not, I don't care who says it, evil is not a subjective thing. Objective morality exists.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Some
I
things are just
absolutely agree with
wrong.
that.
Yeah, some things are just wrong, no matter who's in charge, no matter what the population says. It's not up for consensus. It's not up for your opinion.
Because
Yeah.
the people who say evil is subjective are the same people who will say, well, if they were weak, then they deserve to get ran over like that. Like that, and that's the type of culture we're fucking building up. That's what's scary to me. Because I agree with you. There is objective morality. There are some things that, without a question, are wrong, and you should not happen. And the people who do that are evil. And I guess, what is there a subjective evil?
No, so what I'll say, there are some things where maybe not. How do I want to put this? I think there are things that we can agree or disagree on it being wrong, and that might be subject to, okay, well, you're of a different religion. I mean, this is why I tend to lean libertarian in things, is because, okay, on things where it's obviously not violating like your rights to your life, your liberty, your property, and it's not causing you any damage. If there's no victim, then where's the crime? Like, for example, I'm a Christian, right? I have friends who are polyamorous. Okay. From my worldview, that's wrong. That's sinful. That might be objectively true or not, but like, as far as us down here, she doesn't believe in God, doesn't believe in the Bible. Okay, I don't believe that I can hold them to my standard on that, because they're consenting adults.
Yeah.
And so while it might be an
falls
affront
into
to
the live and let live.
Exactly. I mean, and that's just my personal philosophy, is that like if the parties involved are consenting adults and you're not causing harm to others, I don't believe that adherence to the morality that I claim to, or at least try to adhere to, should not be forced upon another person, especially if we don't even have the same foundation of beliefs. It's just like, start with just God versus not. Like, how can I expect you to live to a morality that I aspire to if we can't even agree as to whether God exists?
Yeah. Well, what's funny about that is the people who say we're in a simulation, that's basically acknowledging God. Because that means there is a power that is greater than you, over you, running you through the simulation.
I mean, it's the same thing with the multiverse argument, like this idea that we live in a multiverse. It's like, so basically what you're admitting is that the explanations for this universe were insufficient for explaining our existence without the existence of God. So you had to invent multiple universes in order to overcome that, because to overcome the idea that it was designed.
Well, some people believe that there are multiple universes, maybe not copies of ours, but the theory is that space started boiling, and those bubbles that came off and became contained became universes. So I can't remember who was talking about it. I think
I've seen that particular theory on some science documentary a long time ago. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So it's a fun illustration. You know, I personally don't ascribe to it, but sure.
Well, as far as the evil aspect, I think there can only be shades of evil when there's already atrocity happening or something evil happening.
What does that mean?
Like war. War is it basically someone is doing something evil. Someone's trying to take something from one place or control another place or people or something like that. So I see the shades in that, like there's battles going on, and there's rules of war, and someone ignores them. Someone uses sarin gas, but they got their objective completed. Like, to me, that's where the shades come in. I think you can only have shades of evil when there's already a contained evil environment.
Interesting.
Because I don't think you can have shades of evil if you're doing what's morally right. Unless the only thing
I guess we need to define what are shades of evil. What do you mean by shades?
Well, like the subjective evil.
Okay.
Like, what's evil to one person might not be evil to the other. The general who said, fucking nuke them, I don't care. Use sarin gas, use poison, use whatever, chemicals, kill them. And to him, it's not evil, that's just completing the objective. But to people not involved, or even people who are involved, it's like, what the fuck, man? You just wiped out a whole bunch of innocent people. But his priority is the objective. But if you go at it from the objective morality side, I guess you could have. Is it evil to let someone continue to hurt themselves?
I would say, I mean, personally, I think yes.
Yeah, so you've got your kid who's a teenager is that they're drinking or doing drugs or something like that. Or even if it's like somebody's sister. They grew up, everything was good, but then when they hit their mid-20s or 30s, they got a drug addiction. And you knew they had a drug addiction, but you didn't do anything about it. You kind of you kind of coddled them a little bit. Like when they needed something, you helped them out. They needed money, or they needed help with a shower, or they got in trouble or something like that. Like, is it evil to help them like get out of jail, or
I
to
think it
not directly
depends.
confront the issue?
So I would say it depends. I think, yeah, definitely in some cases, yes, because I think bailing them out of jail could be a good thing if you are getting them help.
Mhm.
Because I do believe that there's a great good in being gracious and merciful. Redemption, really. That's really what that is you're buying their way out of their consequences, out of some of the consequences of what they've been doing, in order to get them to help them change and change their behavior. I think enabling them to hurting themselves is wrong.
Like giving them the money, and
Because
but
that's really just you not confronting the issue.
but then that's probably how they would get arrested, because if they can't get the money here, they're going to do something to get the money. I think that's usually what gets drug addicts put in jail. Desperation for the drug.
Right. So, for example, I would say that it's not necessarily wrong to turn them down, because you have to have boundaries also. You can't let them, one, walk over you. Two, if they refuse to change, sometimes the right thing to do is to just let them
Hit
do
rock
it
bottom.
and hit rock bottom and experience the consequences, because that's usually what their wake up call is.
Mm.
You have to take care of yourself and your family first, and if this is a person that's part of your family, sometimes it is the right thing to do is to just kind of say, you know what, you're out of the house. I tried to help you. You didn't want the help. You go figure it out. I mean, that's even biblical. It's called turning them over to the devil. Like, essentially, it's you just kind of
letting them take the trial on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Essentially, and just let them learn the lessons the hard way and pray for the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're getting deeply philosophical tonight.
Yeah, we are. Like, I never really thought about it until I said there's subjective evil, and you pointed out, like, no, there's objective morality and objective evil.
I mean, to me, the objective morality is the greatest argument for the existence of God, because if there's nothing above us that created these rules, then we're the ones who created the rules, because we're the most intelligent beings on this planet.
Mm.
And so then it becomes subject to our own opinion. So if Hitler won World War II and and just eliminated everybody who disagreed with him, and just kept the people around that agreed with his genocide, then genocide becomes a good thing.
Yeah, but I bet their taxes would have been really low. I'm just saying.
You're probably not wrong.
Oh man, yeah, I agree, because there are things, no matter, unless you are a psychopath, like a huge percentage of the population, if they saw a child die, they would be sad. And if someone killed that child, they would say that person's evil. Because that person did something wrong.
Yes.
And
I mean, even the people who are pro-abortion, like, if they would say that they use this, the whole argument about that it's just a fetus or a clump of cells is to
dehumanize it.
Exactly. So that way that it removes the empathy from them. So that because the feelings is what I believe it was put there so that we would be able to not just see morality and understand it like logically. Oh yeah, that's wrong. It's that we would feel it, because feelings are a motivator to actually do something about it.
Yeah, that's why.
Versus just if we're just thinking about it and trying to logically decide, okay, well that's evil. Maybe I should do something about that. No, that doesn't drive you to do good.
Yeah, like if a parent sees their kid being attacked or hurt by someone or something, like it's an immediate response, especially a father.
Mm-hmm.
Like your priority at that immediately at that moment, save my child, stop the threat
Mm-hmm.
at any cost. Even if you die, you would like. I don't know a parent out there who would rather their child die than them.
I mean, we don't know them, but there are people like that that have been jailed for such things.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, but
Which
those
to me is
usually,
incredibly sad. I can't imagine what gets you to that point.
dude, that's a damn good question. Like, what has our culture caused us? Well, I mean, it has. Yeah, it's absolutely corroded empathy, all the good qualities that we have.
Well, part of that is that if there was an aspect where I'd say social media causes it, that would be it. Is empathy gets eroded through social media when you're not having real life interactions, because it's something that we feel in person. Like, I mean, to some degree, you can feel it online. Like, I think between you and I talking, at least, and maybe part of that is because we're on voice and video and can see each other, so we pick up some of those cues. You can feel that empathy. Um, but like for the people in the chat, that gets lessened. Somebody might post something in chat that's really sad, and we might feel that a bit, but it's definitely different than someone actually telling you the story, like with their voice and you can see their face.
Yeah,
And yes, Rob, that is cowardly.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. There's no way I wouldn't do everything I could to save my kids. No way. Like, I mean, hell, I've already been hit with a car and pushed up a driveway like 100 feet before. So
You never told me that story.
yeah, one of
Wow.
my lovely exes. The chicken shit came in, said she wanted to visit Kinsey because I had her at the time because they told me they didn't have a safe place to keep them, and when they brought her back to me a month earlier, she'd stayed with them 2 days and she had lice, an upper respiratory infection, and an ear infection.
Good Lord.
And I was like, yeah, you guys need to straighten your stuff out. And when you got a stable place that you do feel the kids are safe at, we can go back to normal. And it's my fault because I'm not a fighter. It takes a lot to get me like that mad. And I'm not usually not an asshole. And she played the empathy card because she knew it would work on me. Said she wanted to visit Kinsey, and when she came, she ran out the door with her.
Wow.
Yeah. And when I went, now keep in mind, this is 4 weeks after the initial surgery, and 2 weeks after I had to go back to get an abscess the size of a softball drained.
Mm.
Because when I went to the hospital a week before, my drain tube stopped draining, and while he was milking it, trying to get it to see if it would pull anything out, he ripped the drain tube away from the surgery site.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah. So I had to go back, get a new drain tube put in, get the abscess drained out of my back, and yeah. So when I realized what was happening, I got up, tried to go outside to stop her. Her wife and their friend like braced up in
Oh,
the
you
door
heard that
frame.
right. Her wife.
Yeah, her wife. They braced up in the
Her gay.
door, and what's funny is her favorite thing to call me is a faggot. Yeah, what is the logic there? Like, you're gay. Why are you using that? You know that. But yeah, they braced up in the door, and when I tried to get out the first time, they body checked me into the fridge, and that's when my adrenaline kicked in. And I threw both of them to the side on the floor, got outside, and said, "Hey, you can't do this." And she looked at me and said, "I can do whatever I want, and there ain't shit you can do about it." So I stood in front of her car. And I said, "You're gonna have to wait here till the cops get here, or you're gonna have to run over me."
So I guess she chose option number 2.
Yeah, she decided to choose violence that day.
Why is she not in jail for attempted homicide? Vehicular assault.
I have no fucking clue. Literally, the judge said after hearing everything that it sounded like petty arguing. Even though I had proof of them not having a place for Kinsey to stay, her coming back with lice and the infections, and like I had pictures of the bruises on my legs the next day. And yeah, it just sounds like petty arguing. Like, no, this is a narcissistic, psychopathic asshole who doesn't give a shit about anything but what she wants. Ever since my daughter's been born, she has made it. And correction, ever since I left her and called her out because she took her tax return that was supposed to go to her lawyer to get full custody finalized for her son, she took that money to fly to Alaska and sleep with a married guy that she knew in high school. I found out, and I told that dude's wife, and he got in a fuck ton of trouble for it. And ever since then, she's made it. And she's one of those people that once you find out how she really is, and she has no more use for you, she will do everything in her power to fuck you over. So.
Hey, Welsh.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Welsh? So, yeah, I would say that stems from her mom not being a good mother and her dad not drawing boundaries that a parent should while he was raising her. And that shit comes from cultural decay. Like this is the more I think about it, the more I think cultural decay and societal decay is the reason stupid shit happens to the degree it does nowadays. Like, I don't get it, man. Then again, a lot of people don't really grow up until they do have a kid, especially today. And even then, half the people don't grow up. They just fucking throw phones at their kids and they have fun. Like, don't get me wrong, like Kinsey plays on her tablet, but I don't. She's not isolated by herself. Like if Kinsey's here with me, unless her friend's here, she's right beside me, and we'll read together or play games together, or we're just together and actually spending time with each other. And damn, I'm making it my mission to try to ingrain in her, don't be a fuck up. Think about what you're doing, because I want you to be in a better place as you're growing up than what I was. I want her, I didn't have the guidance that it should be given to every kid growing up. Like, pretty much growing up, it was just as long as we didn't fuck up, we didn't get yelled at. Didn't matter how good we did. If we did good, I was like, oh, okay, cool, good job. Like, going above and beyond was never rewarded. We only got the punishment end. And I mean, I guess it just depends, man. Because usually the people who have parents who, I think it goes, you have the parents who give guidance to the kids and teach them how to do the right things. And then they have kids and they've got nice things. So their kids haven't made. So they don't have the same enforcements. And those kids grow up to be the assholes. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Got off on a little personal life rant there.
No, you're fine.
You
want to talk about these new pride flags?
Yeah, let's
I
do
haven't seen
that.
this.
You haven't seen this? Ladies and gentlemen, hit like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up or down, whatever. I don't give a shit.
But do something. Don't be one of
Yeah.
those non-voters. Vote like or dislike.
Or turn off YouTube and go outside.
Better yet,
Just say hey to
yes.
someone. That might actually be better for you.
Objectively, that is better for you.
Yeah, it is objectively. That is an objective fact. So ran across this little tweet. New sexual orientation flags just dropped. Don't ask me. I have no fucking idea. The only thing I do know is that this is a legitimately lost generation. You're right. However, even though it's fucking stupid how they're trying to go about it, they're making their own. Some of these make their own Christian values. It would just under a different guise. So.
No, I got a lot to say about that, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Aspectus romantic and aspectus sexual. Not experiencing romantic attraction, but other people assume you do because you act in a way that allo-romantic people would. Oh, Jesus Christ. So, because someone's flirty, yeah, basically it's saying because you're flirty, people think that they have a chance with you. See, to me, this is a thought. This is Pokemon. That's what this should be called. The Pokemon flag. Because this is what thoughts do. This is what e-thoughts do. 100%. This is just a flag for e-thoughts. That's what this is. It's the e-thought flag. Because, I mean, if you act that way, you know what you're doing. I'm sorry, but you're not just going to flirt and try to get attention for nothing. It's because you want the attention. You want to be the hottest girl or the sexiest girl or boy, whatever.
Yeah, a lot of these, I mean, not that it wasn't before, but it's turning more and more into just excuses for whatever behavior you're doing. You just want to, you don't want to have consequences to anything you do. You want to be able to hold some sort of identity. Let's see.
Did you hear that Russia and China have banned gay pride raising in their country? In Russia is banning transgender surgery, and they're protecting kids from it in Russia. I have not heard that, which
I heard
is
that
not
about
surprising.
Russia. Yeah.
I mean, but where is it on the major news streams? Like, most people aren't going to hear about this, which is fucking ridiculous. No joke. Good. Sorry. Because I feel like what the gay pride movement started as has been completely co-opted by disingenuous people. It's not about live and let live. It's about cramming something down people's throats so that they can make money off of it. That is all that is. But the next flag, platonic romantic. Feeling no difference between platonic and romantic attraction, or between platonic and sexual attraction. Guess what? That means you fucking like someone. You fucking idiots.
This is that's the friends with benefits flag. It's this is I sleep with my friends. That's what that is.
Well, it says attraction, doesn't say. I'm looking at it from, like, I guess a more innocent perspective, because if you have a romantic attraction
I'm
to
done
someone,
giving these people a doubt. I'm done giving anybody the doubt.
yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, you're right, because why would they separate romantic and sexual, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah. There's the one, but okay, hold on. Yeah, that's right. Romantic. The one below it is the friends with benefits. The one above it, the platonic romantic is like the
you like someone.
Yeah, it's you like your friend. You like your friend.
Yeah.
Go ask them out.
The person who's been your friend and knows everything about you and has always had your back and you've had theirs. If you're if you're a boy or girl, it's going to come up.
Like, notice how, like, all of the gayness has just been taken out of it, like, altogether. It's like no talk about, like, attraction to same sex or opposite sex, because obviously, or hetero or homo or bi or whatever. Like, where did all that go? All of these could apply to just being a normal person. It's Latino romantic. I want to go on a date with my friend. Go on a date with your friend. Latino sexual. I want to sleep with my friends. Okay.
Yeah. Well, the reason I think it's like a genuine attraction is because it's both platonically and sexually, or platonically and romantically. Like, if you're just in a platonic relationship, that means you are just friends. There's nothing else to it. You're just good friends. But if that gets blurred to the point that you're friends, you've built up a rapport, you've got that relationship, and you have romantic or sexual feelings for that person, to me, that just means, like, congratulations, you've achieved an actual relationship. Because there is one in here that's just like, yeah, you're a hoe. And it's...
I guess it's coming up.
Yeah. Item romantic. Feeling no difference between platonic and romantic attraction, or being unable to tell the difference between, but still differentiating between the two based on different factors.
That doesn't... What the hell does that even mean? This is worse than a leftist meme.
That... to me, congratulations. You have feelings for your friend, but you're not 100% sure. That's all that means.
Like, there were rom-coms in the 90s about this.
Yes. It means you have questions that you need answered before you can go forward with it. That's all that means.
Yeah, it's the what are we? This is the girl going to the guy and being like, what are we?
Exactly.
Oh, what the hell is this?
Coy and what the fuck sexual and romantic.
This has to be a how is this not a troll? Are you kidding me?
Okay. This is why I hate the left. They can't just fucking say in simple terms what shit is. They have to make shit up. For those who are uncertain if they experience romantic attraction, cannot tell if their feelings are platonic, romantic, or something else, and or feel that the concept of romantic attraction or orientation does not apply to them, and same for sexual. That's just you denying your feelings. That's all it is.
Deny a sexual, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, congratulations. You have the feelings, but it's the girls have cooties. Or the boy who's overly rough with the girl at school because he likes her. That's all that is. Jesus Christ. These fucking people drive me insane.
I'm curious as to these flag designs. It's so weird.
Nebula, sexual, and romantic. Someone who finds it difficult to tell if they experience sexual attraction or desire and connects this difficulty to their oh fuck no, fuck you. That's just some neurodivergence, some fucking bullshit. Nope, not even. Because to me that's just a made up bullshit. The neurodivergent stuff.
What is it supposed to be? In other words, I've never looked into it because I've just been like, I've never ran into it, honestly.
Oh God, I'm gonna regret looking this up. Differing in mental or neurological function from what is considered typical or normal.
I mean, do you remember when we were going in primary school and we were told that we were all
this is basically people who have weird hobbies. It just gives them a pass to say they're autistic. To me, that's how I read it, because it says frequently used with reference to autistic spectrum disorders.
I mean, that's what I thought when you were reading that definition, was just like, isn't that just autism?
I don't know. I don't think it's the same as autism, because I don't know. Maybe I'm going to catch a whole lot of hell for this, but
I don't know. Welsh, if you wanted to chime in on that at all, feel free. I don't know what insight you have to that.
I think a lot of people. I think this is more of a social thing. So people who can just say that they have it that aren't actually autistic.
I mean, yeah, this whole thing is primarily. Well, because what was that one that was basically just meant you're a normal person? It's like demisexual.
Yeah.
Like
you crave an actual relationship.
Yeah.
A genuine relationship with someone. All right.
Yeah, don't feel pressured, Welsh, either. If you don't have to, if you don't want to, but
yeah,
you can chime in by all means.
Lith, a coy, romantic and sexual. Someone who feels romantic attraction and does not want it reciprocated.
That sounds psychotic.
Yeah, that's basically the person who's too shy. Or no.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was thinking of the person who is prone to.
You know what? I know what this is. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, this sounds like the person who's prone to forcing themselves on others.
No.
Okay.
This is the person who's attracted to the person that isn't cool to be attracted to.
This is the person that, yep, because they're the nerd or the.
Yep.
Not
they're not in the clique.
Yep.
They're not the popular person.
Attracted to the outcast.
Or it's the nerd who's attracted to the jock, and the friends say you can't do that.
Yep.
That's Jesus. Reciprosexual and romantic. Someone who feels sexual attraction only to people sexually attracted to them.
I mean, that just basically means you take rejection very well.
Oh no. They are sexually attracted to the person because that person's sexually attracted to them. This is called being a hoe for attention. Oh, that guy likes me. I'm gonna fuck him. This is someone with issues. This is the daddy issue female and the mommy issue male. Or insert X childhood trauma here. I mean, wait, oh, it's on the. I almost had a revelation. No, I didn't. Well, no, yeah, it is. It's just being a hoe, because what dude's not going to be attracted to a hot girl? But then, see, that reciprocate's going to go to Lith whenever it's some guy that she's not attracted to.
Yep.
Fucking A, dude. These people are retarded.
There's the Demi.
Yeah. So, look, okay. Demisexual and demi-romantic. Only possibly experiencing sexual or romantic attraction after a close non-sexual bond has formed. Congratulations, you're a conservative Christian.
Good for you.
You have morals. Good job.
Yeah, just skip on phrase sexual. What the hell is
Phrase sexual and phrase romantic. Only experience sexual attraction toward people that they do not know well, and this attraction fades once a deeper connection is developed. This is a person with abandonment issues. Fix your shit. Don't encourage it. Don't award this shit. This is why society is decaying, because they're creating rewards for shit that should be fixed. And yeah, it's been our flagrant presentation of dumbass shit that can be explained very easily.
This is flagrant replacement for the week for the left can't meme section.
This is my replacement theory. Oh god. Yeah. Stupid shit. Like this is why our kids are fucked if you're not engaged with what they're doing. Because holy shit. Once they start hitting that puberty age and they're starting to get a slight bit of independence, they've got phones, computers, whatever. This is also why the rich fuckers who say this is okay don't let their kids do it.
Yep.
Because they're fucking lying to you. Half of the rich people, politicians and shit, their kids don't get a phone until they're like 15.
This is also why, if you're a parent out there and your kids are in public education, you need to get them out, or at least get involved, you know. And I mean, it depends on where you are, obviously, but it's spreading. It's spreading. And then it's also college.
College is...
Don't
send your kids to college. Just don't.
Yeah, send them to trade school, or help them start their own business. There's never been a better time for entrepreneurship. That's exactly
what I've told both my kids. I want them to both have attempted a job on their own, or a business on their own, before they get out of high school. Because that is how you succeed. It's not putting your ass to the grindstone every day and working for someone else. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are absolutely jobs out there that we need done that requires the shitty manual labor. But even then, those people usually make decent salaries.
You got trade school. If your kid's gonna go to university, it can't be for a gender studies degree. It's got to be for something something STEM, something that they can actually do something with.
What is?
I mean, honestly, I think it's this is what another gripe I have with the government is that they kind of forced university schooling for a lot of jobs in a lot of ways, even though. I mean, truth is, like, most of the stuff I learned in college, I don't use on the job. Most of what I do on my job as an electrical engineer was stuff I learned on the job.
Mm.
Wouldn't it be amazing if I could have just skipped the schooling part and went straight to learning on the job. And then we wouldn't have had to deal with the debts involved with that. Not to mention just losing time for, a few years of time to go through those classes, and when I could have been earning a paycheck and investing.
Yeah, like that.
But yeah,
that's-
licensure laws are licensure laws are a scam. I think if somebody's qualified to do the job, they shouldn't have to get permission from the government to do it.
I just saw Rob's comment.
Let's see. Oh, you just saw that?
Jesus Christ.
You never go full retard.
You never go full retard. You people. What you mean, you people? God, that's such a good movie. That would never be made today.
Mm-mm.
You know what? Actually, it would, and it would probably smash box office records.
It's true.
Because guess what? People don't give a fuck about woke shit. Holy shit. I just realized, like, I just found out that my daughter's going to see the Barbie movie this weekend.
It's not as bad as some of the other crap that's been put out there. But
Well,
Chrissy was doing a review of it earlier today. She said, yeah, there's some of that stuff in there, but it's not near as bad as what they've been doing.
yeah. I still don't trust a PG-13 movie because there's so much shit you can get away with now, even in PG-13.
Nah, that's fair.
Anyway. Well, chat, what has been on y'all's mind? I'm going to do a little what's on chat's mind at the end today. Bet she be exposed to it and you can explain it now. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I do that anyway. Like I'm honest with my kids, like, and I have to be, because if I'm not, then they won't realize half the shit they hear isn't true.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. I'm sorry. That's my take.
Yeah, that's a
We don't.
negatory good night.
We won't. Like, we'll split at
not
best.
not in the way that you're thinking, anyways. It's not going to happen via the political process.
No.
Like, you're not uprooting that at all.
It might happen if the country doesn't split and the inflation gets so bad that our money's worth fucking nothing and we can't feed our families anymore. Like, it probably will then.
Well, there will definitely be some stuff happening then.
That will not be a pretty
That won't be
sight.
pretty.
It will be absolutely fucking horrible. But maybe then people realize, oh shit, maybe I should hold my politicians accountable for the shit they tell me they're going to do. Hey, I agree. I do. Because I know where I can go. I know I've got
I think
a
the
bunch
best
of
thing
different.
you can do is just learn the skills you need,
Mhm.
or I mean, learn at least some skills, and then meet people nearby, real life, that can fill in the gap and you can barter with. It's little communities that are going to get us through it. Looking after each other.
Yeah, 100%. Like, small communities will be fine. And
cities are going to be fucked.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because they're going to be too busy trying to rob each other and kill each other for resources.
I mean, some of those cities already are.
They're damn close to it. Well, if the parallel economy survives, that's going to be to me, that's when the split happens. If it's fully embraced, because the parallel economy is already here. Like, the independent space is blowing up, It's like I said, people are tired of buying bullshit.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just the things that there's some things that where this certain spaces that haven't been breached, and that's because it's damn near impossible. Things like infrastructure. Your phone, for example, you only have so many options for this for your provider. People have tried to break into that market, but they
they either get bought out or ran over.
exactly. I mean, maybe someday it will actually get to a place where it can be decentralized, but it's not anytime soon.
Yeah. Good night.
I mean, I think to a certain degree, yes, we should at least abandon use of it.
Go back to courting.
Especially on all of the apps, you know.
Yeah,
Social media apps and
I don't think the phone's the problem. It's the apps.
yeah.
It's social media. Like, if it was just a phone and it could, you could only call people, that would be a dramatic improvement over any app being on there. But this makes me think, like, everyone's always said that the older generation that says back in my day things weren't this bad. I definitely believe that about my grandparents. Because think about it, back then, nearly everyone knew how to farm. You could take care of yourself. You had medicine. Things were built to fucking last and not built for obsolescence to keep consumers buying. Because that's when American made shit and American pride was fucking through the roof. Yeah. Yeah.
Flip them tables, good night.
Yeah, I think our parents and grandparents, they probably had the sweetest spot in American history. And
Well, even though the grandparents probably went through the Great Depression.
yeah, but even like,
I mean, honestly,
I
that might have been
wonder,
the reason why. Is just because
was that a city thing or a rural thing? Who did the Great Depression had to affect the cities more than anything?
Well, you would think, at least in theory. I don't
Like
know.
the rural farmers out there who were nowhere near close to a city, they probably didn't feel it anywhere near as bad. I mean, you're talking about people who still had horses and livestock, and like they didn't have a car. Most of them didn't have a car back then.
Yeah, kind of their own
Yeah.
thing that they had to go through. Oh, yeah.
Well, see, but even then, on scale, who did it affect more? Because that mass farming, it wasn't for rural areas. It was for the cities and the big populous centers. Like because it affected the big farms the most, didn't it?
I don't know. Do we know anybody who's actually studied it? It'd be cool to actually ask questions of someone who's done a deep dive on it.
Yeah. So it did affect all farms. But on scale, I can't imagine it affecting rural areas the same as city centers. Oh, yeah. They didn't fallow and rotational farm. Yeah. Oh, maybe it did. Well, I still think it hit city centers harder.
I mean, maybe this won't happen again, but I can see other things happening that can derail the farming industry. Just look at Europe.
Dude,
in some of those countries that are getting a bit tyrannical.
yeah. Canada. What is it? Austria?
Or let's see, Ireland and I want to say Norway were the two that I remember seeing a lot of headlines about.
I thought the Austrian farmers had a
Maybe.
little revolt too. Is it Austria or Belgium? I don't know. I can't remember. It was definitely one of the ones in Central Europe. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like even a small crop would have helped the rural families more than city centers. Oh yeah. Man, what the fuck aren't you tracking? You probably know how many pubes I have on my ball sack. Jesus. Don't take over my camera. Okay. Oh
Is that a
man.
confession that you don't manscape? No comment.
No comment. No comment. That's why my nickname is Mushroom Tip in the Bush.
Sounds like a band.
Dude, that would be an awesome band name.
Seriously.
Oh my god, I'm claiming it now. I'm claiming it now. That's gonna be my that's gonna be my ammunition brand.
Nice.
Tip in the bush. No, in the bush. It's like a mushroom in the mushroom tip in the bush.
Make it easy for it to develop a logo for.
Yeah, it would. All right. It's 9 o'clock. You know what time it is?
Yeah.
Guys, gotta go hit up Chrissy's channel. See some hot, beautiful, talented women.
Who's on tonight?
I don't know.
Let me look it up real quick. Ah, they're already live. Let's see.
Holy shit! It does spell tit in
Ooh, Wicked
middle.
Virtue. I don't think she's been on there before. You got Elle on there. Let's see. They're not live yet. They just started.
Leanne hasn't been on as much. I've noticed.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in a hot second.
I think she was
I'm
on.
not
I
familiar
think she
with
was on
Monica's
last
page.
week, but I don't think she was on. Like she hasn't been on nearly as much. But anyway, yeah, guys. Well, I guess I've bitched and ranted enough. So
That's what they come here for, Cam.
Yeah.
And we deliver.
Yeah. One day we'll get a little bit more professional with our production. But holy shit, getting sick did not help with anything.
I mean, if you ever get down to Florida, we'll find a spot to build a studio and we'll do this studio setup.
Dude, that would be awesome.
That'd be epic.
I should know tomorrow about whether we can get some space or not.
Okay, good deal.
So, yeah. Well, if that goes well, because I'm pitching it to the other print shop that did the initial Marvel order because they knew it was a parody and they didn't worry about copyright bullshit. And I think it's a good proposal because it brings new tech to them that they can see firsthand and see how it goes. And I think if anything, it would just be a boon for them. And yeah, but we'll see. I mean, nothing's ever guaranteed.
Yep.
And if that doesn't go through, we'll just have to keep looking, prodding, finding something, seeing what we need. I need to call and see what kind of power supply that needs. I'm almost certain it's a 240 given the size.
Probably.
But we'll see. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, if they rented the space, I don't see why they wouldn't. Like, to me, as far as business and what it is and what they do, I don't see why they wouldn't want that tech in their shop or have an excuse to look at it at least. And they've got. I mean, it's only one machine too. One machine will cover everything we do. So, yeah, we'll get it rolling though. Got to get the site back up. Got to get shirts going. Got to get good quality shit back out to the peoples. But yeah, guys, go check out Chrissy. You got the link?
Yep, hold on, I'll post it.
Yeah, go check out Chrissy's. Get on some Simpcast. And everybody, be safe. Have a good rest of your weekend. And go say hey to someone.
Yes, in person.
In person.
While touching grass. Go touch grass with another person.
Yeah.
It's your assignment. That's your homework.
Say hey to someone. Ask them how their day's going. Because I think the only way we get out of this shit is if we start connecting again.
Yes.
It's not gonna happen any other way. Like I said, man, if we had the 90s communities with today's technology, I think it would be fine. Because holy shit, people seemed a lot closer back in the 80s and 90s, 70s, 60s.
I mean, I remember growing up knowing neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have many, but I know them.
Yeah.
Like, and we all watched out for each other. But, all right, guys. You know where to find me. Flagrant Triggers on everything except Twitter. Twitter is Flagrant Trigger.
Hard
Hey. Yeah, the hard R. Yeah, good night. I'd be fine with that. For real. People struggle and realize how valuable shit is. Like farming, growing food, and making people. And raising good people. But yeah, Crash, where can they find you, buddy?
Crash Mondo JR on, well, any platforms, but I'm not very active, so you can follow me. I'd say follow me on Kick. It motivate me to actually get there. I keep saying it. I do want to stream over there. I just got to set it up.
Good night. Practicing making people is fun.
In fact, Flagrant, I think maybe you and I should just set a date for it to kind of force me to open up my OBS and just fix it all up.
Let's do it next weekend.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
We'll get the Kick going next weekend.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Everybody have a good night. Later.
Peace.
Bop, bop.